Howdy folks, it's Alter here and welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator. Today we're going to go old school, not only just an old school aircraft, but old school navigation. And we're going to fly across a good part of Montana, basically from Great Falls to Billings, using Slant-Alpha navigation. If you don't know what Slant-Alpha is, you can watch a very long video I made like 10 years ago about it, if you want to, on the channel. Or search it up, or if you want to listen for a second, I'll give you the most basic rundown of Slant-Alpha. It's pretty much flying from VOR to VOR, radio tower to radio tower, and that's it. In this most basic form. Just radio tower to radio tower. And I'm really distracted by this incredible scenery. Holy cow. Road weather's turned on, by the way, so it's basically clear. Time of day, it's like, I don't know, 2 p.m. or something, it said, just something random. But anyway, Slant-Alpha. So, in X-Plane, when we used the 727 by FlyJSim, we had to fly Slant-Alpha. I didn't use the add-ons or anything for FMS. So we've done tons and tons of Slant-Alpha flying. I don't know if I've done it in this simulator yet, so I wanted to try it today. In real life, I believe, in 2018 or 2019, FAA discontinued Slant-Alpha. So, if you're Slant-Alpha, they're going to be like, no, get a GPS, basically. If you want to fly IFR, VFR, whatever, transponder is all you need or something like that. I don't know. But anyway. But for our purposes in the simulator, we are going to do Slant-Alpha. I did not set up an IFR flight, though, in the sim because it won't let you. It'll let you do VOR to VOR sometimes as a VFR flight, and it's crappy. So I actually went out of the sim to plan this flight, so we got a lot to talk about. I just wanted to check out this area because this simulator scenery default is ridiculous. Wow. So anyway, let's get back to the airplane. We're in the Beech 18 because why not? And a lot to talk about before we take off. Let's see if I can stay organized. So first of all, Slant-Alpha, or VOR to VOR with some things in between, is an IFR flight. So we are doing an IFR flight, even though the simulator isn't going to see it that way, because you can't do it. Slant-Alpha is IFR in the sim, which is fine. It's obsolete anyway. So we are going to use ATC, but it's going to be VFR according to them. No big deal. The advantage we have in this simulator versus when we used to do this in X-Plane is when we would transition from an airway from VOR to VOR and have to transition to an airport, to like an ILS or VOR approach. We didn't have ATC to do it, so we'd have a little gap there where I just have to improvise. However, in the sim now with ATC, we should be able to get vectors and fill in that gap, right? We'll come up with their own vectors, but they'll tell us what to do. So, how do you do Slant-Alpha flying? Well, you don't have a GPS normally. You need your radios to tune in your VOR card, and then you need DME, which is distance measuring equipment. The only distance measuring equipment I could find in here is if you use the distance on the GPS. You also have to tune the radio on the GPS. No, you can use radio over here. But I didn't see any DME over here or anything, unless I'm blind. Maybe there is and I missed it. Maybe, I don't think there is though. We will use autopilot. We can use navigation because I'll make sure the CDI says VOR. And I'll show you in a minute how I planned my flight. Because for the first time ever in this simulator, I left the sim to plan a flight. I'm trying to open my door. I guess it's way back here. Okay, it doesn't really matter. Doors are closed. So let me show you my flight plan. Pretty simple, and I'll show you how I got this. So this is the VOR Great Falls, and then the next VOR is Lewiston, and then the next VOR is Billings. I was going to keep going and do like 10 VORs, but I don't have like 5 hours to fly. So just going to do a couple basic things, right? So VOR to VOR to VOR. However, we do have to change direction between VORs. We aren't flying directly from a VOR to a VOR. And that's another reason why you need the distance measuring equipment, because we're going to leave Great Falls at 91 degrees, but 23 nautical miles later, we're going to tune in the next VOR and approach it inbound at 94 degrees. So we need some way to measure the 23 nautical miles. Now you could take your airspeed, determine the wind, figure out your ground speed, use a timer and be like, okay, at this speed I'm going to be this distance away at this time. You could maybe, but if you're not exact with the weather and the wind, you're not going to be accurate, and you're not going to look out the window for a landmark because this is IFR, not VFR. So you need DME, okay? And then at the next VOR, and this is the VOR frequencies, by the way, we'll tune this one in, leave at 89 degrees, but 25 nautical miles out, we'll tune in the next VOR and approach it at 153 degrees. And do that for 96 nautical miles. When we get close, I'll tune in ATC, and they'll tell us which runway to land at. And then once we get that information, I will pull up the flight charts for Billings-Logan Airport, and that'll look like this. Come down here, I already previewed a few. Let's say they give us ILS 28 right. We would just follow the instructions for this, which I know how to read. We've read them many, many times before in previous videos. I will discuss this as we get there if we need to. Anyway, that's how that will work, depending on what ATC tells us to do when we get there. So now you're asking, Turtle, how did I come up with this crazy little flight plan outside of the sim? Well, let me show you. You just go to skyvector.com and you pull up world low, because we're not going to go very high or far. I started here, and where's Great Falls? I'm lost already. Great Falls. I started Great Falls, and here's the VOR information, right? The VOR is Great Falls. There's your frequency, your letters. Our airport is right here next to it. So we're going to fly, see, 91 degrees. Our distance is 25 means to this intersection, and then 78 is this distance in between here. And then you fly to this one, and then we left 25 nautical miles. 96 is this entire distance, and then we know that, and then around here we'll tune in ATC, and then we'll land at Billings, which is next to the VOR. So that's how you do it. I'm not going to go over great detail, but all the information is in here. This is way, way easier to read than it looks. If you've never seen this before, it looks crazy, but it's actually quite easy to read. If you're doing VFR, then here's your VFR map. But that's how you did it. That's how I did it anyway. That's how I always used to plan all my flights in the 727 for X-plane. It's just I would do world high, and you have fewer VORs, because there's high altitude and low altitude VORs. Don't need to get into that. But yeah, so that's what I used to do all the time for every single flight in X-plane with the 727. And I just haven't done it in a couple years, so I just want to do it again, that's all. But that's how you do it. SkyVector, easy peasy. I know I made a video 3 years ago that says you never need to leave the sim, and you still don't have to leave the sim, but because I want to fly Slant-Alpha, and the VOR to VOR within the sim is terrible, I did leave the sim today for the first time to plan a flight. So now that we talked about it, I think it's time to fly this flight. So my flight plan will just sit on my other monitor, so I can follow along, and it's going to be that simple. So we already looked outside. We already did all that. We already talked about live weather. It's like the afternoon, where we are, what we're doing. So I think we're ready to get started. I'm just amazed by the scenery. Holy cow. So Idaho's right over there, just in case you're wondering where we are. Alrighty, here we go. We're gonna start this thing up. I do have my checklist on my other monitor too, right here. And let's follow along there. And man, I wish I had like 5 monitors right now. Alright, parking brake, is it set? It should be set. Let's look down there. There you go, parking brake is set. Fuel and passengers. Whoops, I want this for you. Thank you. Fuel and passengers. Alrighty, let's see here. Put myself, whoops, put myself in there. Let's give my wife the co-pilot seat here. Something like that. Let's do my older child. Let's do my younger child. Let's do my, let's freak out my sister. Let's bring my sister along, and her husband, and her 2 kids, and never mind. Just one of our kids. Baggage, we'll have some snacks. There we go. Okay. Fuel, I think we're good. Let's give a little bit more fuel for this one. It's going to be a couple hours, I think. So, whatever. There we go. Okie dokie. In the back, if you want some immersion things, you can play with these tables. And you can open the doors. And there's other things you can do with that. There's just stuff to play around with if you want to. But you don't have to. Oh, how do I get through? There should be another table here. Yeah. Isn't that cool? So you can play around with stuff if you want, but not too worried about that today. Alrighty, closed door. Already did close windows. The window's open? Oh, the window's open. Okay, cool. You can hear the difference maybe if my volume is up enough in editing. Alrighty, here we go. Fuel selectors confirm on. Left front, right front. There we go. Mixture rich. It is. Props forward. They are. Throttle cracked. It is. Left battery on. Battery left. Please. Left battery on. Did my yoke go away? Come back, yoke. My yoke left us. How do I bring him back? I guess we don't. What's this? There it is. Okay. Left battery on, left generator on. Turn primer to left. Where's the primer? No. Yeah, turn primer to left, preset 5. Which one is the primer? I haven't flown this thing in a bazillion years. This primer, that's tail wheel lock. Shut off, cabin heat, oil bypass, parking brake, cowl flaps. Primer right in front of my face. Alright, turn primer to left. No, other way. Other way, there you go. Turn primer to left. Prime 5 times. No. There it was. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Starter. Left. Starter. It is already on the left. No, left. Okay, preset 6 for left mags. Man, I should have practiced this. It's been a long time. Mags. Is it this? Yes, magnetos. Left engine, fuel boost under the red cover. Booster. There we go. And starter under red cover. Whoa, it worked. Dang. I love how that sound changes. Cool. Alrighty. Repeat for right engine. Oops, I'm bringing back my throttles to turn my volume down. I'm kind of confused. Alrighty, let's see here. Repeat for right engine. Start with battery. Alrighty, battery on. Generator on. Turn primer to the right. One more maybe. And prime 5 times. 2, 3, 4. Come on. 5. And starter to the right. And right magnetos on. And then fuel boost. And starter. Does it work? Because I know I have problems sometimes getting the right side to work. And it didn't work. I've had this problem before. There you go. I just didn't hit the booster enough or something. There you go. Now it works. Cool. Does the window open? Oh, it does. Now it slides. That's cool. Alrighty, there we go. Put the starter switch back to the middle. Come on. Come on. There's like one click spot. Put the red cover down. Turn the beacon lights on. Where are my lights? I think the lights are over here in this thing. Beacon. There we go. Avionics master on. Seatbelt. Dome lights. In-op. Prop anti-icer, de-icer. Okay, cool. But I'm not looking for that right now. I'm looking for the avionics master preset 8. Oh, there's stuff up here. Avionics master, there we go. Ooh, my multi-panel on my desk just lit up. Alrighty, we can put some lights on. Why not? Stuff to play with. There's something down here I wanted to see what that did. Whoops, not this. I don't know, I can't get to this. I don't know what that says. It just says start. It doesn't do anything anyway. Okay, cool. Alrighty, flight plan. We already talked about the flight plan in great detail, including how we did it and all that stuff. So we'll do the radio in a second. Let's tune in our first VOR though. So we want 115.1, which is that. Put it over here. Boom. Okay, look, see how this moved? Alrighty. And we're going to leave at 91 degrees. We need to change this to 91 degrees. I don't know why it says we're going away from it. Actually, duh, of course we're going away from it. We're leaving at 91 degrees. So there's about 90. There's 91. And then 23 nautical miles away, we'll change this all up. But how do we know when we're 23 nautical miles away? Well, that's where we have to use the GPS, unfortunately. So what we'll do, actually, can I do it like this? If I'm tuning the VOR, and I do 115.1, will it work if I go like this? No. That's going to be... oh, wait. Wait. Look it. We have DME down here. Nice. Okay, so we'll just tune this in and we'll get DME. So we aren't using the GPS, even though I'm pushing this button that happens to display on the GPS, right, for my frequency, is actually down here. No kidding. Oh, this is fantastic. Not sure what this does. DME, look, DME right there. We have it. Oh, this is so exciting. Okay, cool. Wait, I can tune it here. Oh, I don't need the GPS at all. Okay, good. I was wrong. We can pretend this doesn't exist. Look at that. We can tune it there. And there it is, our distance right there. Time remaining and our speed. Holy guacamole. This is amazing. Oh, I'm so excited right now. Okay, cool. We can delete that and pretend that doesn't even exist. Fantastic. Okay, well that makes my long introduction completely obsolete, but there you go. Alrighty, so when this says 23 nautical miles, we're going to change to the next frequency. Oh, this is so cool. Oh, this is amazing. Okay, I'm so excited. Alrighty, what's next then? Weather. We need to get some weather. Do we have an ATIS? We do have an ATIS. Let's tune it in and listen.
Great Falls Airport information, Echo 140 Zulu. Wind 278 at 6. Visibility 10. Sky condition, no clouds below 12,000. Temperature 19er. Dew point 10. Altimeter tree 0.02. ILS runway tree in use. Landing and departing runway tree. IFR aircraft say direction of flight. All aircraft read back hold short instructions. Advise controller on initial contact you have Echo.
Alright, we have Echo, and I hit B on the barometer so that it would set this up. I also noticed, and this is another dumb moment, this frequency here is going to go with our HSI and is tied to this one. So just to show you, if I change the frequency, our VOR goes away there. So then if I go back, whoops, what am I doing? Make it 115 again. This DME is tied to this HSI. And then this is where you can tune your 91 degrees. So by doing this card and this radio, we're being redundant. We don't need to do that. But I'll show you how you can use it in a second here. This just got way more exciting. There's 90 degrees right there. There's 91. Let me show you something. Our next frequency is what? What is our next frequency? 115.45. So we can go like this, go 45. There we go. Now, we want that. Enter that at 94 degrees. So now I'll go like this. 2, 3, 4. Like that. So what'll happen is we'll follow this one, and then suddenly we'll pick up this one. And then, wait a second. Why did that change? That's weird. Did that change from this one? That shouldn't change. No. No. Why did that get lost? That's weird. Whatever. 115.10, 115.10, 115.10. I don't know why that went away. Whatever. Okay. So now when we get closer to the second one, it'll come up here, and we can use that and go back and forth as we go every other one. That's fine. That works. So that got way more exciting. Okay. So anyway, what is next on the checklist? We already got the weather and everything. Is there a tower? We're going to depart, what? Basically straight out, but it's really to the east. So let's do number 6.
Great Falls Ground Turtle Soup, Tango 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 41 with Echo request taxi for takeoff departure to the east.
Turtle Soup Tango 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 41 taxi to and hold short of runway tree using taxiway Bravo 1 cross runway 21 Alpha 1 Alpha Alpha 7. Contact tower on 118.7 when ready.
Taxiing hold short runway tree via taxiway Bravo 1 cross runway 21 Alpha 1 Alpha Alpha 7 Turtle Soup Tango 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 41.
And of course we have to go all the way down to the other side of the entire airport, which is fine. It'll be fun. Alrighty, so what do we do now? We do what? There's no taxi light, but we turn on seatbelt light. Already did. So here we go. Yeah, takeoff, parking, brake, and let's taxi. No flaps on takeoff for this aircraft, I believe. And you do not lock the tail wheel in the simulator as you go down the runway. In real life you would, but not in the simulator. So, okay, very exciting stuff with those instruments. I should have practiced first so I wouldn't have spewed out incorrect information in the beginning, but the part of this channel is to learn together. So we're learning together. That's the point. Heading off into the sun here. People want to see the runways more, so we're going to show the runways more. I mean the airports more. As we taxi along. Camera is fixed to the aircraft, so everything's at a slant, but that's okay. Looks like we'll have a lot to see over there once we taxi to the other side of the airport, so that'll be fun. Mountains in the background. Should probably check for traffic before we cross. There we go. Oh, I love the sound of this thing. I don't have it turned up too high for you because you won't hear my voice as well, but the sound of this airplane is amazing. So actually I think what I do is I will turn up the sound in editing and then just try to talk over it, I guess. Hopefully my voice doesn't get too lost. And I'll turn it back down in a minute. So let's crank up that volume editor being me. Let's check out this beautiful airport as we cruise on down here. Trying to control my flying. My taxiing is working kind of fast. Oh my gosh, anywho, pretty cool. Great Falls, Montana. Never been there. I don't think I'll ever get there. I don't have any reason to go there, I guess. My wife's friend almost ended up moving to this area because she's going to take a teaching gig. Didn't work out. I think it's blessing in disguise that didn't work out. But I guess then I would have had an excuse to fly out here. Alrighty. Yeah, just turn the volume back down now. And let's have a little bit of a look. And this is going to be a long taxi, so enough talking. I'll see you at the end of the runway. Beautiful airplane, but it'd be nice if I could stay on the taxi line. I don't know why, but I always seem to go to the left every flight, every taxi, every landing. They seem to just be on the left all the time. Not sure what that means, but anyway. We're almost there. This has been like a 5-minute taxi, so that's why I cut some of it out. But we're getting there. We're getting there. We only need like a tenth of the runway, but whatever. Alright, we're about ready to get onto the runway. I mean, I'm curious why our distance went to 0. Oh, it says 1.9 there. I don't know why it doesn't read when I go on that one, but whatever. Maybe it was a bug when I changed the other frequency thing? I don't know. But anyway, we'll figure it out as soon as we get in the air here. I'm so glad we have it. Let's see. About ready to turn on. Alright, brakes. Whoa, brakes work. They're a little touchy, but they work. Send us into a ground loop. Good grief. Tune the tower. Request VFR. Although we're not really VFR, remember? We're technically IFR, but the sim doesn't see it that way.
Great Falls Tower Turtle Soup, Tango 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 41 at runway tree ready for departure east departure.
Turtle Soup Tango 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 41 wind 268 at 5. East departure approved. Cleared for takeoff runway tree.
Cleared for takeoff runway tree Turtle Soup, Tango 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 41.
Alrighty, carb cold. I don't remember where the carb things are, but I know they're cold. Because they are by default. Carb is already cold. Do not lock tack wheel. Do not lock tail wheel. Cow flops up. Oh, they already are up. Oh, why is that on my checklist? We don't have to touch them. Okay, no flaps. Trim back. Trim back. Where's trimming this? I just know you have to trim correctly or else you are screwed when you try to take off. I don't know. I'm just doing my trim wheel just so we have some trim. What else? I lost my spot. Trim landing lights on. I think those are over here. Nope. Dome, seatbelt, beacon. Where are the landing lights in this thing? Right there in front of me. There we go. Landing lights on, nav lights flashing. There we go. Pitot heat on. And note the time. What time is it? There has to be a clock. There it is. What is it? 9 o'clock? AM or so it says? Okay, that's cool. We'll take it. Alrighty, takeoff speed 75 knots. Okay, right where it starts. And then gear up. And then cruise anti-ice. We'll worry about cruise when we cruise. Okie dokie. Where's my checklist? Get that ready for cruise. Get the flight plan ready. And we're off. Okay, here we go. Where's parking brake? Okay, there we go. Alright, very fun. This is taking just so long. Again, there's a jet. It's been over half an hour since I started. I'm not sure what I got it down to you for editing, but probably close to half an hour for you too. But that's how it goes when you have a big flight plan and things like that, and you're not just GA, VFR in a little town or something. Alright, here we go. Lots of right rudder. Holy cow. I think I got to nose down a little bit. Come on, nose down a little bit. Come on, nose down a little bit. No, we're not supposed to take off yet. Nope, don't take off yet. Now you can take off. Now you can take off. Now you can take off. My yoke is all the way back. My yoke is all the way back. Did I not trim back enough? Wow, I didn't trim back enough. All that trimming I did. And I still am not trimmed back enough because my yoke is all the way back. And now I can, oh my gosh, that was crazy. I cannot believe how much trim I needed to get that off the ground because it was nose down, even like my yoke all the way back.
Tango 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 41, continue for east departure.
Great Falls Tower Turtle Soup, Tango 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 41, continue for east departure.
Alrighty, let's head towards the VOR now. I don't know why that isn't changing, so let's go over here. It's changing now. I don't know. It gave us a distance on this one. Now it's working. No, that's the next one. Okay, why is that showing me the next one? That's weird. I don't know if that's a bug or if I'm just misunderstanding something. Anyway, we could just fly like this the entire time if we wanted to. And not even look out the window. And get there just by staring at our gauges. But we're not going to do it that way. I don't know what altitude I want. We'll figure it out. But we can set up autopilot if we want to. So what we'll do So let's get this heading back. So let's do it all on my fancy thing. So we'll do what? We're at 5,000 feet already. Let's go 9,000, 10,000 feet for this. So I'm doing 10,000 feet on my multi-panel. Vertical speed, let's do 1,000 feet per minute. So let's engage autopilot and vertical speed. And now we want to do the heading bug. If I move heading bug around, I'm going to keep heading bug. Actually, let's be a little more aggressive towards the VOR. Hit heading on my autopilot. You can see it's doing it all down here too. That all moved while I was doing my stuff. It also moves that too over there. But I just did it on my multi-panel. No flaps. I can do gear.
Turtle Soup Tango
Of course, we got
Tango
about
Tango
gear.
41, leaving my airspace frequency change approved.
Because I used to do gear on the switch panel, but that doesn't. I don't have that hooked up right now.
Great Falls Tower, Turtle Soup, Tango 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 41 frequency change.
And I don't understand why our VOR isn't moving for this one. It should be. If I go like this, does it move? Yeah, there we go. Okay. So what do we want? We want 91. Do we need to be more aggressive towards it? I guess we do. I guess we're kind of running parallel to it. So let's get over there. So again, the frequency is our current VOR that we're leaving. I don't know why we're getting the next VOR though. That's the distance to the next one, which is this. See? So for some reason, we're getting the distance to the next one, but we're tuned in to the first one. And there's our distance away from the first one, so I'm not sure what's up with that. Maybe it's supposed to be that way and I'm just dumb. I don't know. I mean, it's very helpful to know. That is very helpful. I just don't understand why it's showing it. Whatever. I wish I could turn the GPS off. We don't need it. Anyway. Well, we need to climb. Well, what are we at? We're at 7,000 feet. We're doing a pretty good clip, so let's increase our vertical speed to 1,300. So we can get up there in time. Let me go to our VFR map and see how high those mountains are. So I'm back on Sky Vector right now on my other monitor. Great Falls. How high are those mountains? 7,500 feet, so we're fine. We are going to clear them no problem. In fact, we're already there. Alrighty, so we're climbing autopilot. We're using heading bug. Whoops, shoot, I wasn't paying any attention. And now he totally blew through our VOR. Do you see that down there in the middle? I'm adjusting the heading bug on my panel. Now we have to fly back and capture it again. Alrighty, so what did I say our plan is? At 23 nautical miles out. Oh, we're stalling, of course we are. Let me bring my vertical speed back down to 600 feet per minute. There we go. I know. Sorry. And I'm, ooh, there we go. I'm bringing back mixture on my yoke. And, where is it? Here we go. I'm bringing back the mixture. And we totally got way more power. You can go look over here, see? Bring mixture back until it drops, which it just dropped, and push it back in a little bit. And now we got plenty of power. So now we can keep climbing 1,000 feet per minute or so. Heading bug. You can hear me clicking things around. Once we intercept this, I will use heading bug. Now I could probably use, see how this is V-lock on the CDI? I could probably hit nav on my autopilot and it'll follow it, so we'll make that change in a second here. Once it's lined up so it doesn't S-curve, and I'm going to hit nav right now, and it's going to turn back. Okay, so now nav will follow whatever this is set to. That's what nav on autopilot will follow. You can see we're picking up the next VOR and we're a little bit south of it, and that's going to be 94 degrees, which I already have tuned in. So the theory is eventually we'll intercept that, and that's pretty much when we'll switch to the other VOR, in theory. We're 11 nautical miles away. When we get to 23, we'll make that switch, which should be about the time we intercept. I'm thinking, although that looks like it's going the other way, but whatever. And then 65 nautical miles from Lewiston. So there you go. So we're going to do some sightseeing a little bit. Once this gets to 23, we'll flip over together, because that's the whole point of the video is flying Slant-Alpha. You can see the compensation it needs because of the wind over here. That's pretty crazy. And we're just about to hit 10,000 feet. So let me bring my autopilot back to altitude, since nav is following our VOR. So there you go, Slant-Alpha. Keeps you busy, super fun. I just wish we could take out the GPS for this, although we're not using it at all. So, okay, I'll see you in about 10 nautical miles or so. Alright, as beautiful as it is an IFR flight, so we got to get back to instruments. We are 23.8, so we're a little bit beyond it. So now we're going to go to this. However, our navigation is following this. So now we need 115.45. There we go. And 93. What is it? Oh, come on, I can't see that far. 94 degrees. So we're actually going left a little bit. There we go. Come on. I'm trying to get there. There we go. And is it going to follow it or not? Or is it compensating? Oh, it is. Okay. When I change frequencies, autopilot let it go. That was interesting. Probably so I could change frequencies. Yep. Because when I used to do this in the 727, I used to have 2 radios. I would set up one and then go back and forth. So 2 standbys, 2 uses. Anyway, so this should line up eventually too, but mainly we're worried about this one because that's tied to the autopilot. So since we can, let's play with this a little bit. Of course that's going to match because it's that frequency. So 16 minutes it says. That's not bad. 49 nautical miles away. So let's tune in the next one just for fun, which we probably won't pick up for a while because it's quite a ways away. And that is 114.5. Put that there. And we're going to come at it at 153 degrees. So let's do 153 degrees. There's 150. 1, 2, 3. So we are picking it up. But we're a long ways away. So that's just for fun for the future. This is the one that matters, and the one that matters is this one. And again, is doing the next one, which I guess maybe it's supposed to work that way. 123 nautical miles away, not bad. But we're really thinking about this one. So this will go down to 0, and then all we're going to do is change our outbound radio, the 89. But the same frequency. And then 25 nautical miles out, we'll change again. So anyway, a couple changes left on this flight. Not a big deal. It's pretty easy. It's just keeps you busy. So more sightseeing while we get going, and I'll see you when this gets down to 0. Alright, it's fun to play cards with our friends, but we have to get up front because we are almost ready to change direction. 2.7 nautical miles. When that gets to 0, we're going to keep the same frequency, remember, 115.45, but we're going to leave at 89 degrees instead of the 94 that we are now. So can we zoom that out just a little bit to see both that and that at the same time? This should flip around and go nuts. Nav, I don't know what Nav's going to do on autopilot, if it lets go or what. So what I used to do in the 727, when you switch, is you use heading bug like this. Switch over to heading bug, you can see it flip down there. You heard it on my multi-panel. And then, that way, autopilot doesn't go kittywampus. See, we lost nav because we're right on top of it. But it should come back in a second here. There we go. And see it flipped over. So now we're going to go 89 degrees, which is like this. And then heading bug on over to it. And then when we get closer, I'll hit nav on the autopilot again. And then we're going to leave at 89 degrees. And then at 25 nautical miles away, which we'll see here, then we'll switch over to our final frequency until we pick up ATC. Whoops, let's do nav because I screwed that up. I wasn't paying any attention. Anyway, you get the idea. Pretty straightforward. So now I think we're over Lewiston. Yep, so there's the city right there. Ooh, that's a great screenshot. So let's check out the city while the airplane corrects itself, and we'll ignore my mistake by not paying attention. You know, the VOR was just before the airport, actually, wasn't it? I bet if we look, we'll see it if we look carefully enough. It was like back here somewhere. It's there. Yep. So there's Lewiston from the air. If you wanted to ever look at the city. Oh gosh, can't really see anything from there. So let's use this view. We go like this. We can walk on over quick. Hey kids, quick look out the window. There's Grandpa's house. Nope, now you just see a wing. Not very helpful either. This is probably a better shot like that. Anywho, you get the idea. A little bit more sightseeing. When this gets to 23, we'll make our final change. We already have 114.5 on this one. So, and we already have 153 dialed in. So we should actually get closer to this. And that's, I guess, when we would make our change is when we intersect this. I guess you could think of it that way. Let's see if that really intersects at 25 nautical miles. It should, but no promises because this is the tall turtle after all. And it's all working out as planned. 25 nautical miles, we're almost there. And if you look at this, we're almost there. I think what we'll do is we'll actually wait till we intersect that before we make the switch over. So let's bring our heading bug to line up with what we're doing. There we go, move over to heading on the autopilot. Come down here, tune in, what is it, 114.5. There we go. And it's going to be the same now because we're in the same spot. So time is wrong. That's fine. 70 nautical miles. And what are we going to do now? 153. 153. So let's bring this to 153. And, oh, we're lined up with it. See? Look at that. We're lined up. So let's go over here. And let's do 153 and hit nav again. See, we're lined up there. That's how I knew. Okay, so we have our final frequency, 114.5. It's 69.2 nautical miles, and we're going to approach at 153 degrees, which is pretty much that, right? Give or take, maybe back one. Yeah, there we go. So this will bring us to the Billings, Montana airport in 68 nautical miles. Question is, what approach are we going to use and which runway and all that? So now we have to tune in the airport and tell them that we're coming. And let's go to the nearest list. And we'll ask for Bill, right? KBIL. I guess it's pretty far away because KBIL, are you on the screen and I'm missing you? Why are you not showing up? Probably because there's all these ranches between us. There's probably 300 ranches between us. There's KBIL, number 2. Tune in ATIS? Yeah, let's get the weather first. Alright, we have Oscar, and I just pulled up now on my other monitor. The ILS 2 are right, 28 right. They might have us land visually, then that's fine too. You can still land visually with an IFR flight. But it'd be really fun if they gave us 28 right for the ILS. That'd be really fun. Alrighty, let's tell them you want a full stop landing. Alrighty, left traffic. Really? Left traffic? Okay. Left traffic it is. Means you make left turns. So the way we're coming from though, do we really need to do, yeah, I guess let's see how we are positioned. We should be going straight down towards it. Billings should be right here somewhere. There it is. 28 right will be this one right here. So left traffic. Okay, so we'll fly across the airport. We don't need to do an arc though. We'll just fly across the airport, I guess. Left traffic. And then we'll tune in the localizer. Really? I mean, normally if we were an IFR flight, they would give us vectors, right? They'd say fly this heading, fly this heading, fly this heading, fly this heading. I'm showing you with my mouse until you intercept localizer. We're going to have to make that part up. So we'll fly over the airport, then tune in the localizer while we make we'll just make our own arc. We'll just make up an arc. Those of you who have been with me a long time will remember that my flight sim channel used to be called 15 nautical mile arc, because my favorite airport in Duluth, Minnesota has a 15 nautical mile DME arc approach to runway 27. There you go. That's where you keep the same distance from your VOR while you fly around it. Okie dokie, these are not in agreement. Now they are. So what we'll do is we will fly for another 56 nautical miles. When we get over the airport, we'll turn left. We'll make a slow arc, and then we'll tune in the ILS, and that'll give us our landing. We should do, does this have I don't think this has approach. I mean, there's approach on my panel. Oh yeah, localizer, look, localizer. Okay, so if I hit approach on my multi-panel on my desk, it should line us up. It will fly us into the ground, even though it doesn't have auto land. Okay, well, let's get this thing tuned up. So the localizer is 111.5. So 111.5. There's our localizer. And you approach it at 282 degrees. So I'm going to go over here and we're 282 degrees. This will tell us when we can see it and everything, but we'll tune it here for autopilot. 282. There's 270. Let's zoom in a little bit. 270. There's 280. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay, there we go. 282, right? 70, 80, 90, yeah. So we'll pick that up eventually as we get closer. But like I said, we'll tune it in with this. So what we'll do is we'll get closer, fly over the airport using the VOR that we are. And then we'll use heading bug to make our arc while I tune in localizer on this device. There we go. Which will be tuning it in here. Oh, yeah, that's the next one. Interesting. We'll tune it in here, and then these two gauges will be in agreement eventually, and then we'll hit approach on autopilot, or we'll just flip it to localizer norm on here if approach doesn't work. There you go. And that's how we'll land. So the only thing we're missing is ATC giving us vectors to intercept the localizer, right? So like I said, we're just going to fly over the airport and use our heading bug to make an arc. But ATC would normally say, because right now they just say left traffic pattern, right? But they would normally say, okay, these vectors, this heading, this heading, this heading, whoops, intercept localizer, right? We're missing that because we're not IFR through the sim. And that's because VOR to VOR doesn't work with IFR in the sim, just VFR. So we have to do our own little thing a little bit, but it's still fun, it's still exciting. And we're getting a nice full long video out of it too. It's been a while, right? I've been doing a lot of little tiny VFR flights for the past couple months, or a year even. So it's nice to have something with some substance. Oops, better check my fuel. Where are we at? I think we got plenty of fuel. 2 hours. I think that's what that means, right? Do the fuel gauges work? That one doesn't. What if I go over here? That one's moving a little bit, because it was on the red. That one's still there. I think the 222 means 2 hours and 22 minutes left, because if I come down here and switch this, and switch that, nope, still says 222. I don't know. I don't know what that means. Those stayed the same too. I don't know. Let's just switch tanks anyway. Just because it's been a while since we've been on those other tanks. Alrighty, a little bit more sightseeing. We still have 44 nautical miles to go when we fly over the airport. And then we'll pick this up and we'll figure it out from there. See you in a little bit. 31 miles out, nautical miles, but we do have to start our descent because we're at 10,000 feet. Airport elevation is 3,662 feet. We need to intercept localizer 5,000 feet, approach at 6,000 feet. So let's look at our approach checklist. Weather, we did already. Fuel tanks, we did. Flaps and gear down when appropriate. Do not lock the tail wheel. Why is that on my list? Tail wheel unlocked for the sim. Approach speed 100, landing speed 75. Not idle at touchdown for this airplane. I talked about that in my last video. Normally a prop, you land at idle. Jets, you don't land at idle. Turboprop depends on who you talk to in the plane you're flying, and that comes from real life people I know. But this airplane in this sim needs some power at landing, or it won't land. It'll crash. So the biggest thing is gear and flaps when it's ready. Approach speed 100, landing 95, and those are highlighted here, right? Approach speed 100 with the green, landing right here. 75 to 80 with the red. Oh, look at that. We picked up localizer already. Cool. Not the glide slope, though. There might not be a glide slope. Hopefully there is. Oh, yes. It says we're too low? No. It doesn't care. I don't know. So we got to get down to 6,000 feet within 26 nautical miles. So let's get that set up. Here we go. 6,000 feet on my multi-panel. Vertical speed down 800 feet per minute. So what I'm going to do is keep an eye on our speed and bring back throttles as I need to so we don't go too fast. And let's see, at 3.4 nautical miles, no, 2.3 nautical miles, 6.5, 6.5 nautical miles, we intercept localizer at 5,000 feet. Cool. So we will get all that distance in here too. Once I change this over, it'll be a little bit yet. So 24 nautical miles to ILS also, of course. Alrighty, we are all set then, I think. Yeah, the airport's in here somewhere. Has to be. Alrighty, I'm gonna keep my throttles pig as long as it works. Weather is okay. Oh, we had a little bit of gyro drift. I hit D to correct for gyro drift, and we had a little bit. Just keep an eye on things. When we get closer, like I said, we'll use heading bug to make an arc. We'll do it our own way since we won't get vectors. And then once we switch over to heading bug, I will tune in the same frequency over here, which is what? 111.5. I'll put it in this one. And that'll talk to that one. And should work. I don't know if that has a glide slope or not. It should, right? I don't know, we'll find out. I mean, if it doesn't have it, you can't use autopilot, even though it says localizer over here. But that's localizer, not necessarily glide slope. This should have both. Maybe we'll do it by hand. I don't know. Too early to tell. Haven't done this in this aircraft before. I'm just keeping an eye on our speed while we come down to 6,000 feet or so. And then we have to drop down to 5,000. I want to make sure we are at least 10 nautical miles away when we do our arc. We have room to decide. And I think that's it, right? Airport's at 3,600. Localizer is 111.5. And you got my chart up in front of me, the one that I showed you before. It's in front of my face. Okie dokie. See you in 17 miles. Alright, we're 10 nautical miles away. I don't see anything yet. Probably right there. I guess. Anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to cross over the airport like I said, and then we will do kind of an arc. And then once we're 10 nautical miles out again, we'll descend to 5,000 feet. And then try to see if the localizer thing works. In fact, it says we're too high. Yeah, that is going to be too high because we are too high if we're going to cross over it. We'll control our speed in a little bit. But I think from here on out, no more sightseeing. We need to fly the plane, so let's...
Tower, Newport, November 307,
somebody else.
11 miles east inbound ILS runway 28 right approach.
Yeah, so that's the other air traffic, which is cool. I'll talk over it while we do our final sightseeing here. There's the highway. Beautiful. You know how long it takes to drive that. Alrighty, we are done looking around. Remember, this is an IFR flight anyway, so see how beautiful it is up there? We're going to miss most of it.
Cleared ILS runway 28 right approach, Newport 70 Tango.
Alright, let's see what might be the tower there. Maybe. And I think the VOR is, yeah, the VOR is to the side of the airport, of course. So the airport will be to our left as we fly, or the VFR, which is right here, I think. Yep, there's the airport right there. Cool. Big runway, small runway. So there's our airport. Our VOR is going to be right below us. Very close. It's probably that thing right there. So once we fly over it, we will start coming down, and then we'll tune in the other thing. In fact, we do that right now. So let's do heading bug right now. And let's tune in our localizer, which is 111.5, right? 111.5. Bring that back. Boom, there it is. We're going to approach at, what is it? 282 degrees. So let's come over here. Flip this around to 282 very quickly because we're going to miss our thing here. 270, 80, 1, 2, give or take. Okay, we're flying over there past the runway right now. Watch, see, there it is. Bam. We're picking up the localizer. So what we're going to do, and this is we're too high, obviously. So I don't see glide slope on here. Well, yes, it is right there. Of course it is. It says we're too high, which makes sense because we don't want to come down yet. What we do want to do is make a nice little arcish thing for our left traffic pattern. So let's bring this to here, and then we know we're parallel the runway going the opposite way. So I guess arc was the wrong word. We're just doing a left traffic pattern using the heading bug instead of vectors. Okay, while it's doing that, let's do a little more sightseeing, even though I said we weren't going to, just because we do have a moment. So there we go. Check that out. Beautiful. There's Billings, Montana for you. I never had any idea what it looked like whatsoever. This is beautiful. It's between the river and the interstate. Cool. So if you're from the area, there you go. We have to fly a plane now for real. So let's actually bring this out a little bit because we're drifting. And it says we're too high, which is fine. Let's go down to let's go down to 5,000 to intercept it. Let's go vertical speed down, I don't know, 400, 600 feet per minute. Bring my throttles to slow down. How about power? Power's fine at this altitude. Okay. Alrighty, so looks like we're gonna hit those mountains. That's scary. But it says, you know, 5,000 feet, 6.5 miles out, and we're 2 miles out. Yep. Alrighty, glide slope.
Turtle Soup Tango
What?
Tango Tango.
Clear land?
41 wind 230 at 7. Clear to land runway 28 right.
Cleared to land runway 28 right, Turtle Soup, Tango Tango, Tango 41.
Alrighty. Interesting how that is showing like back course or something. I mean, that's how it should be. It's to our left, and we're above glide slope because that's 6 miles. 6.5 is where we're going to intercept glide slope at 5,000. So I don't quite understand how we're not going to crash, to be honest. So we'll make some adjustments here in a moment. But generally you can't intercept glide slope from above. It just depends. So what we need to do is we need to bring autopilot down to 4260. So I'll go to 4,000. There we go. And maybe more than 6, maybe 800 feet, 1,000 feet per minute, 900 feet per minute, whatever. Let's use auto bug to turn, or heading bug to turn, and then once we are lined up with this thing, we will hit approach on the autopilot, see if it'll line us up for us. Again, there's no auto land in this. However, let's do gear down, by the way. Even though there's no autopilot, it should line us up, you know, and like I said, it will fly us into the ground if we're not careful, which is not the same as auto land. So where are we at? We're at 5,000 feet now. There's glide slope, and we just passed the runway because it didn't turn steeply enough, I guess. So let's, no. That's our base. Let's get to a final here, and we're really close to the runway, which is why it's moving so quickly. Let's bring this back, throttles back. We're go down to 4,000. We're just lined up with glide slope now, which is good. So let's actually kill vertical speed. No, let's do, what is that, 40? Let's do 4,500. There we go. And past the runway? I don't see the runway. Why is it saying the runway is to our left? It's not to our left. Is it? Oh, yeah, it's way over there. I'm so confused right now. First set of flaps down. There it is. Approach on the autopilot. It's gonna work. Oh, because it's right there. Duh. Wow, I'm out of practice. More flaps. Gears down. We're gonna approach at 100. I know we're gonna stall. Sorry. Come on. Power. Power. There we go. Glide slope is captured. Runway is captured. And we're cleared to land. And we got full flap and full power. And we can barely... Yep, glide slope is captured. See? So like I said, this will fly us in. And, yeah, so everything's going right. I just was so close to the airport, we had to S-curve a little bit, which is something I would practice if I flew in and out of the airport regularly or whatever, but since I don't, I think we did a pretty good job. Plus there's mountains coming up. That was scary. Trying to capture the glide slope with those mountains. Anyway, like I said, this will take us all the way down, even though it's not auto land. It's just the sim will take us down and will crash us. So we will take over in a minute. I just want to see how awesome this is. It's working perfectly. IFR flight using Slant-Alpha. Oh, just beautiful. And when we get to minimums, we'll turn off autopilot. That's about minimums right there. I have control of the aircraft. Yeah, it's starting putting us to the wrong side. Okay. So autopilot was about to give up. And approach at 100, touchdown 75 to 80, which is what we're doing right now. With thrust or whatever. With power engaged. You don't land at idle. And it should be pretty smooth here. A little bit of crosswind from the left. Not a big deal. Let's see how this goes. This thing is easy to land once you get the hang of it, but it does take practice, and I haven't had that practice, so I don't know how well this is going to go. We're a little slow. There's the power, and a nice long runway, thankfully, because I'm taking as much time as possible. And here we go. Power is engaged just a little bit. And there, look at that. Silky smooth. Boom. Come on. Come on. Yep. I know. The tail wheel's dragging. I know. Stop. That was terrible. I'm so... Oh my gosh.
121
I'm in the grass.
Tango 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 41. Goodbye.
Like I said, when you get practice, this is easy to land, but when you're not well practiced, it's very, very difficult to land. So, just parking.
Billings ground, Turtle Soup, Tango 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 41 taxi to parking.
Turtle Soup Tango 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 41 taxi to general aviation parking via taxiway Charlie.
Taxiing to general aviation parking using taxiway, Charlie Turtle Soup, Tango 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 41.
I don't know what Charlie is. It's that one. Jeez. Alrighty. Note the time on the clock. Oh, that's just over an hour flight. Alrighty. Landing lights come off, obviously. Pitot heat can come off. We'll do off on the nav. Whoops. And flaps up already. Yep. Tail wheel stays unlocked. And now it's just shutdown when we get there. Very cool. We'll go outside for the operations and checking out the airport. So anyway, that was a really silly landing. That's too bad. That's okay. I've only landed this thing twice or something. 3 times maybe. So I'm not too upset. I'm just so glad we did an IFR flight. It's been a long time since we've done IFR, even though it was slightly unconventional due to using an outdated method. But I think it's fun. I need to do more of it, especially now that I know that this airplane has DME. Some big planes, getting some food. That's fun. And where are they taking us? On a little detour here. Boy, that sun is awful. Where are they taking us? Can't I just cut across? Should we go rogue? Let's go rogue. Just because. Let's go rogue, cut across. And park, because they want us to park right... Oh, I see what they're doing. They're having us... Okay, never mind. Let's not go rogue. I see why they're having us do this. Just for the right angle. Makes sense. And
Turtle
we'll
Soup
make
Tango
the
Tango
turn.
Tango 41. Hold position, caution, other traffic. Clearance delivery care 60. 2 heavy ready to copy IFR clearance to Kilo Hotel Victor Romeo. Turtle Soup Tango 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 41. Continue taxi. Care 60. 2 heavy is cleared to Kilo Hotel Victor Romeo Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 28 right climb and maintain 9,000 feet. Departure frequency is 120.5 squawk 0522. Turtle Soup Tango 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 41. Hold position, caution, other traffic. Turtle Soup Tango 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 41. Continue taxi. Care 60. 2 heavy cleared to Kilo Hotel Victor Romeo Airport as filed.
Roger. Turtle Soup Tango 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 41.
Well, that was dramatic. With all the traffic. I don't see the person I'm supposed to be looking at here, so we're just gonna put ourselves wherever it makes sense, I guess. You don't have a flag person. We have other people, though. Alrighty, parking brake is set. Bring the props back, bring the mixture back, come down here, turn off beacon, which is over here, I guess. Beacon is off. Seatbelt sign can come off. Meg crash bar, that's that one. Avionics off, that was up here. And inactive internet, I know I'm active internet because my other internet stuff is working. That's weird. And then the battery crash bar. And there we go. And warning can go away. Okie dokie, let's come back here and put the table away. There we go. And open the door. Ta-da! And hop outside. Alright everybody, we did it. We did an IFR flight, cross country IFR. It took me about 2 hours in real life time before editing it down. And did it Slant-Alpha. Old-fashioned way. So now if I feel like doing Slant-Alpha, I have a plane I can do it in. And it works perfectly. This might end up being my new 727, I guess. I don't know. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Subscribe, turn on notifications so you know the next video comes out. And hit the like button so people know we exist. Welcome to Billings. Welcome to the channel if you're new. And welcome back if you've been around for a while. And I'll catch you next time.